Yeah, good evening, good morning, afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Christian, for the invitation for this webinar. Is my second speech here in this webinar series, and it's wonderful to speak today about the quality aspects of biochar. And I hope that you can
All working.
see my screen.
Yes.
I would like to explain a little bit in the beginning where we come from. Probably as a first explanation, also how we understand biochar. And our journey started in 2007. It was a common journey between Ithaca Institute and at this time a certification body, a Swiss certification body named BioInspector. And the first standard that we developed together, that means Ithaca did develop it, and we were the certification body, was a standard for quality production of wine. That means it was an organic wine production standard for Delinat. Today, Delinat is one of the biggest organic wine retailers and traders in Europe. And at this time, we had the first contact with biochar, and we started the first trials, field trials, and then the journey did continue together. And in 2021, we did build Carbon Standards as a new company based on all the experience that we had in this time. Based on this global collaboration partnership between Ithaca and Carbon Standards, we developed the standards together. It means Ithaca is our main scientific institute in the background. They develop the methodologies, and we integrate everything in standards for at the end the application in the field. And something that we have learned, and I would like to show you this now in the next 20 minutes, is that if we speak about quality of biochar, we always should have a kind of aim, a kind of goal, what should be achieved with the application of biochar. The game should be quite clear. Otherwise, it can be difficult to produce the quality that we need at the end. In 2008, years ago, we started the first field trials in vineyards in Switzerland. The results were, acceptable. The disadvantage that we had at this time, we applied it into organic vineyards with a good soil health quality. And there were positive results. That means we were happy with our quality of the biochar that we did produce. And at the end, we had the first positive results of an application of this wonderful product. In 2010, then we started the first industrial pyrolyze mechanism with the reactor from Pyrex 500. And immediately it became clear that quality is again an important element. We were looking for a methodology to test the biochar to find out what kind of contaminants we have in this product. And then in September 2012, we developed the first guideline because it was so important for us to have a kind of guideline for the production to say, yes, this should be the way how this product is produced. And this was the starting point for EBC. Again, if you speak about quality, it's not so easy to know what kind of biochar is the perfect biochar as example for composting. We had field trials in Switzerland, 2012. Ithaca did work a lot on compost application and quality questions all around. And then 2014, Nepal came on the right side. For those of you who know Hans-Peter Schmidt, there were field tests also in Nepal with Contiki production. It's a little bit more simple than in industrial production, but at the end, it's also possible to produce a high quality biochar based on the definitions that I will come back to. What we have seen then, and again, it was the first really positive results, is that we were able to increase really the harvest quantities with the application. In this case, 1 ton of biochar applied to the root zone of the plants. And it was the first really international results that we say, yes, we were able to produce a good quality of this product. At the end, we apply it to the plant and we have a positive result. Also in Ghana, then a little bit 2016, it was we had good results based on the root application in the root zone, and of course we had also other results, not only positive ones, and there was a lot to learn and on this journey and to find out what is important if you produce such a product on the low income farmer level at the end, also in the industrial production of biochar. And then 2017, the first applications in different materials started. Can be in buildings, also in textiles, asphalt, and we also started the first trials to apply this product into snowboards. And again, we come back to the question, what is quality? What is biochar quality? Are there different biochars out there? And the answer should be yes. There are different biochars out there. We have different qualities, and it depends the aim that we want to achieve. It depends also the goal that we want to reach, and then we can say yes, this biochar has a quality that can be used for that. Today, in our portfolio, we have 4 different standards. As probably you know, the European Biochar Certificate and the World Biochar Certificate as 2 industrial standards, and then the artisan C-Sync for low-income countries, and then the additional one, the Biochar C-Sync for the carbon sink certification. And all of this is connected always with biochar quality. Of course, on the artisanal level, it's a little bit more difficult to really verify what kind of quality we have, but also here it's really important to have chemical analysis, to have a testing standard, to have the definitions, how this product at the end has to be analyzed. And that's what we do also in these artisanal projects. And everything starts always with the feedstock. I will come back to this. And at the end, we have a certain product, and the product is always analyzed and tested, that we can say, yes, the product has the quality that we want to have. And we jump in now, if we jump in now in the industrial production, I think this is a little bit more interesting for this webinar here. Then it's, in our point of view, really important that these procedures can really be followed, that should be followed. As example, we start with a certain feedstock. In many countries, as example, sewage sludge is not allowed yet. Sometimes we start with wood. Sometimes we have different feedstocks, and then we are really able to produce a biochar with certain quality aspects, and that's what we at the end see as a key. More and more producers realized that it's unbelievably important to know what kind of values we have when we are doing a chemical analyze, how the biochar is treated probably after the production of the product, and how at the end the product can be applied, as example in the final matrix. And all of this is, I would say, a chain of decisions and something that is really important for the discussion about quality of biochar. And it's a key element. That's what we see, because at the end, this product is a high valuable product, should be sold in the market and applied and used in the best way in the region, in the best way where it's produced. Something that we have integrated in our standard is a kind of certification class list. It's not so complicated definition of a certain biochar quality. As example, in the European biochar certificate standard, we have an agro quality for the application in the agriculture environment, and here we have certain values that has to be reached. As example, the HC ratio has to be measured. Different heavy metals has to be measured, and at the end, also the organic contaminants has to be measured, and we have some values that have to be reached, some limit values here, and at the end, we get the feedback from different producers. In a first step, it's really important to have a good biochar, and then let's see what we can do with the product. And if you have a look now on the production side, then we see, and this is really something that we have learned in these years, if you have a feedstock and you have a technology, a plant, you have the temperature that you use, you have the reactor residence time that you plan, then you have the most important factors for making a definition of quality. And there will not be huge differences. If you don't change the feedstock, if you don't change the basic parameters, then you really can expect, this is a plant in Sonnenerde, Austria, then you really can expect that the results, the product will be more or less the same. And as soon as you change the feedstock, and of course, you will have a different result. Also, of course, if you change the reactor residence time, you will have different results and a different product. But in general, if you say, okay, we have a certain amount of feedstock, we have the plant, the technology, we produce this biochar, then it should not have a big variation on the quality level of the product. But then the next steps really start, and it's something that we see more and more, that post-processing and the design, how different producers name this, of the biochar is then more and more important. And they exactly know what kind of application they want to reach, where the product should be applied, and then the post-processing procedures and design of this biochar starts. And here, many different things again are important. As example, the grinding process. If you grind the biochar, then it's important that you have the right technology for you can destroy this product. Or you can say, yes, it's now a perfect product to apply it somewhere, as one example of the post-processing procedures. Or you can eliminate contaminants if there was probably a problem in the first step of the production. And all of this is possible, that at the end, you can say, yes, the product fulfills our quality requirements. And then as one example, I would um, like to explain you a little bit the story behind our application of biochar into snowboards, global seasync snowboards. It's for us a really small success story because we do not have so much quantities in in all the snowboards that we produce, but here we speak a lot also about quality. And it's really a process of quality definition. That means we start with the biochar production, then we have the post processing, and at the end we have exact the product that we want to have in a perfect size, micrometer of this product, and then it can be applied, as example, to a snowboard. And in this case, the goal was that the snowboard is faster than the others. That means we have better results on the World Cup level because it was a clear goal to improve the quality of the snowboard at the end. And this is something that we have reached. It was really possible with Maurizio. It was the first athlete that we have to realize something that at the end was a positive result based on all the processing steps that we had before. And we can say yes, the quality was good enough to apply this product somewhere in a matrix that at the end we reached our goals. And yeah, small quantities in, but at the end, the gliding effect of this board is better than a conventional one. And this is also a small success story of biochar quality in perfection, I would say. For us, it's important to discuss all these things also on the international level, biochar quality with the International Biochar Initiative and with EBI to make the steps forward also in biochar quality. And at the end, I think it's the result of everything is a successful producer, a producer is happy with his quality of the biochar that he can produce, and we are doing our best to support the people on this way to find out what kind of technology is the right technology for me, what kind of feedstock do I have at the end, what kind of product is the product that I want to apply as example to the soil, as example, to the compost, as example, to building materials or somewhere else. And here we, I think, start the journey at the moment, especially in the building material environment or somewhere else. And everywhere it's the same question. Let's produce first good biochar quality. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much, Julie, for this update on the setting standards for biochar. So if you have any questions, please write them into the chat, and I will start because I'm just curious. Can you say anything about, do you see trends in biochar quality that you see? Is it going up, down, sideways, that you asked to certify?
Yeah, I see. I think we see the trend that with the technologies that are out there for biochar production, it's in the most of all cases, it's really possible to produce a good quality of biochar. And it depends really a little bit also at the end, the endpoint, the matrix, but on the level of contaminants, of the level of, as example, H2C ratio of the product, if the machines are well balanced, if the feedstock is the right feedstock for this plant, then we have the possibility to produce a good biochar quality in the most of all cases.
And I guess the technology is getting better, hopefully. Or do you see the HC ratio going down, or is it more, is it a similar level to, let's say, 5 years ago?
Yeah, I would say it's a similar level, but more and more there are producers out there with a huge knowledge.
Hmm.
They increase their knowledge, and it's a big advantage for producers. They started years ago. That today they have this knowledge inside. They have the possibility also to produce products. As example, a chemical substitution of chemical fertilizers with a biochar compost or something like this. Here we have really innovative companies um, yeah, in the market.
Yeah, I think making a product is one of the big things in the battery sector that we probably missed it for a couple of years, or we were not there to actually design products. Um, you got another question from Soliver, um, which I think is also very important. So she said, I'm really interested in sewage sludge and related biochars. To what extent does the idea that the same feedstock, same pyrolysis process produces the same enough material hold for more variable feedstocks like sludge?
Probably I did not understand the question fully. In my understanding, it's the case that if you have uh, more or less similar sewage sludge and you have the plant for, then you should be able to produce more or less the same product quality over months or at the end during a batch duration. But it depends a lot the technology, especially with sewage sludge. It's not possible to use all the plants out there for that.
And maybe a follow up on that. So because you touched a bit on the variance, that if you put the same thing in the same process, you get a similar results, which makes sense. Do you have an idea about the variance in how much this goes up and down if you think you have the same feedstock and you think you have the same process? Do you have like a 5% up and down is normal, or is it 10%, or I don't know, of just as a ballpark figure, because a lot of people say it's the same, but then what does it mean? And I think that's also what Soliver meant with sewage sludge, because it's never the same feedstock.
Yeah, to be honest, on the sewage sludge level, we do not have the experience yet. We have the first pilot plans um, already ongoing, but we need more, I think, more experience to say here the variance is 10% or 15%. It's too early to answer to this question at the moment, for me at least.
Yeah, I think that's a common
Yeah.
common issue still with sewage sludge. And the last question from myself. So the EBC is a quality certification, um, which basically sets the minimum quality you have to reach. Have you ever thought about more performance grading, or introducing performance classes or something like that?
Oh yeah. We had different discussions about this, and it can be the case that this will follow soon. We will see. First of all, we plan to restructure our certification classes based on new requirements from the market. That's the first project that is going on now. We have the expert group who will work on the new certification classes soon, how we suggest them, and then the public publication round will start for that. And then probably in the next step, additional parameters will come in.
Mhm. Okay, and I guess that will be much more complicated than the
A
original.
little bit, a little bit.
Um, and now, really, the last question from Soliver, about the definition of biochar, because she used a paralyzed organic material applied to agricultural soil. Um, do you have another working definition of what you would define as a biochar?
Yeah, it's not an easy question. Today, I would say today the biochar is produced from something that has grown. I would say some plants, some um, green material somewhere at the end, biogenic based. But we will see where the way will end. I think at the moment we start working with sewage sludge. It's already a little bit a gray zone to this definition. We will soon, I think, have more um, waste products in some projects, also municipal waste, and then I think it's a good question. What at the end is a biochar and what is something else?
And we're all looking forward to the waste biochar because I think that was I mean, that's the big thing in the future, I guess. I hope. Biochar is a waste management technology. So thank you very much, Uli, for your presentation. And
Thank you.
if anyone missed anything, it will be online in a couple of days, I guess. And you can watch it again. Otherwise,